Good evening. It's Wednesday. How is everyone? Welcome in, Mac, Day, Theron. Hope you're all doing well. I've made some progress on a lot of things that were needed. I'm not going to show them off immediately. Maybe not at all. We'll see. But we are going to, I've got plans tonight. So we've already got a pretty solid room F, is what this is. It's not perfect. I wouldn't say it's complete by any means. There's a lot of, I need to sprinkle some actual enemy fights around. But we've got the main point of the room, which is you open a path very easily. There's no resistance. It's a single room in chapter 1. That's exactly what this needs to be. This next room is going to be a little bit bigger. And we're going to do some planning out. The plan for tonight is I want to map out the region, just do some basic sketches, get some ideas, try and figure out what it's going to look like. And then we're going to try and block it out in Blender, maybe clean it up a little bit, because I like this little divot stuff that we did for this. It works. Welcome in, Al. Casual. Like, it's simple. My earlier attempt on this was to actually make, like, wavy terrain, like actually like some slopes and valleys and stuff. It was bad. It didn't read. It didn't read very well. It was awkward to move around on. I didn't like it. Humans from Earth, classic. Also, it made the grid a little too obvious, because this whole block of land is basically a subdivided plane that I just kind of did some slices through on the grid, because I do kind of like these like crisp corners. I'm not trying to make everything all curvy and round. But when the grid is super obvious, exactly where the lines are, it looked a lot like an isometric RPG or Roller Coaster Tycoon or something. Either is applicable. Like a very rough chest model. I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but it's good enough, and it works at least. That's the important thing. All right. So let's does it have a compass inside? What would this one have inside? This one has 20 coins. And this one has a strawberry. Does not have a stapler, unfortunately. All right, we will show off the chest. Let's check the chest. I'll show you guys how the chest works. So here's our chest. It's got kind of a shiny, brassy frame to it. I'll probably add some kind of wooden texture, because right now it's just a flat, dark brown. But to open the chest, you use a gear. Go figure. And it cracks open, and then you got a strawberry. Item description, bottom text. There you go. That's it. This is not complete. The positioning of this is not quite right. And the scale might need a little bit of work. Right now, it just always draws to the center of the screen, which happens to be above the player. But if there was something in place where the player would be a little bit off-center, this would not look right. Also, I want to have an animation where Dabble holds it over his head. So that's what it looks like when you get an item from a chest. let's take a look and see what happens when you get money. I still don't have anything in place to count money, but you can collect it. Here we go. We ready? So here's 20 coins in here. The lighting gives it kind of a weird color. It was supposed to also be kind of a brassy color, but it's not quite there. There we go. Washers. They're washers. There's even the slight, like, not quite lining up at the top, which is really hard to see unless you're actually watching for it. And as an added bonus, it's kind of the symbol of like a electronics power symbol. Vaguely. You could kind of gesture vaguely at that being the case. Or a robot claw. It works on so many levels. The big thing I worked on is the flower grow animation. It looks a lot nicer. But we'll save that for a special treat for later. So we'll tease you with it. Yeah, we got more to show off. That was one of those things where it took a long time, but not for the reason it should have. It was more me fiddling around with why isn't this texture applying the way I think it's supposed to, and less of the actual doing 3D modeling and doing the animating and all that. Dabble direct. Understandable casual. Don't worry, I'll be showing it off many times, not just tonight. So right, room. So let's get out the drawing software. So again, this is room F. We are going to be working on room G. These may or may not be in actual order of anything. I assume they will be, but I can't say for sure that they will stay in that order. All right, let's do some doodling. I'm gonna move the mic over here, which is gonna make it a little bit quieter, and I apologize for that in advance. I could turn it. I can't really turn it up anymore without messing with the gain, and that's just gonna pick up more noise. Mess with the gain a little bit. You know what? Yeah, let's mess with the gain. Let's gain. Okay, 1.8 decibels. Should be the shape of something. I think it's going to be the shape of a giant bullfrog. Okay, so quick overview of the room layout. So what we've got is we've got our big hub. Our big hub city over here. And then you're going to embark on chapter 1, which is going to consist of, here we go, room A, room B. A might actually be pretty tiny and just act as the transition. Inscription. I do need to play that at some point. Room C as well, and then you get to Frogtown, which is room D and E. We're gonna increase the canvas size here. All right, room D and E there. Then we have room F, which we've already seen. That's the one we've made. So that's the one that has this going on with it. And then we're going to have the mysterious room G, which is going to connect us to the cave, which the cave is going to be its own. It's going to be a little mini dungeon. I don't know how many sub rooms it's going to be broken into. After that, you're going to be on the other side of the river, still in room G. All right, so let's do this. Something like this is going on here. So there is a bridge, but you cannot use it because reasons. Because plot reasons. So there's going to be something like this going on with this room here. And then the actual dungeon for chapter 1 is going to start over here, and that I have no idea how many rooms that's going to be for sure. So there's the mid-dungeon. So room G is going to be something that connects you into the dungeon, but also encapsulates the other side of the shore, because upon exiting the dungeon on the other side of the caves, after you've gone through the caves, under the waterfall, all that, whatever, there's gonna be like some kind of like pile of logs, and you push them into the river, and that creates a shortcut so that you can head back to town and restock after the dungeon. And then you no longer have to go through the whole dungeon to get back to that point. You've got a shortcut right there. So chapter 1 is basically 3 legs to the mid-dungeon, between the mid-dungeon and chapter 1, and then the actual chapter 1 dungeon. That's it. There may be like a little restock zone somewhere around here. Probably gonna do maybe one long room here. I don't know. You may get a little bit room fatigued. Reminds you of TTYD. Good. TTYD did it a little bit differently, but it did one thing. So TTYD, you start at the hub, and you start chapter 1, and you go to a town, then you have to go to the mid-dungeon, and then you walk back to the town, and collecting the items from the mid-dungeon allows you to go to the main dungeon, which is like it's on the same screen as your opening room. So it's got opening room, room 1, room 2, 2 rooms of town. Then it's got a path, a little mid-fight, a path, a little mid-fight, a path, and then a mini dungeon, which starts with a quiz show. Don't worry about it. Have a good night, Day. So it's very linear, but it does one thing well, which is if you're getting overwhelmed in the dungeon, you can get back to safety pretty quickly. It's not like you're having to go through the mid-dungeon and then go through a lot of rooms and then start the dungeon. And if you get overwhelmed, you have to go all the way back to town that way. It at least makes it quicker in a way. It's not free, and that's kind of what I'm going for is by adding this shortcut, which maybe the shortcut needs to be a little bit further down. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But I think this is the right place for it for now. This puts you you have to travel across G and F to get to town. That's it. We'll still have to explore mid-dungeon stuff. Okay, so the big thing on G is it's a pretty wide room. It needs to cover the entrance to the dungeon, the exit to the dungeon, the exit to room F, the exit towards the Chapter 1 dungeon, and it's going to have some kind of shortcut that can be created in the middle. So we'll probably need like a rock in the river to make it sensible that the logs that roll in will kind of wash in and get stuck, forming a bridge. It will be cool. I think it'll be fun. I like it. As far as the actual topology of Room G, and let's start this on a new layer. So we're looking for something that's vaguely rectangular, though not exactly. We have a waterfall coming down and a river traveling along the middle of the room. The right side of the room does not have to be very big. It's mostly there just to kind of remind you where you are when you get out of the cave. Like, oh, I'm on the other side of the river. I recognize this river. Oh, right, the bridge. I'm trying to get to the other side of the bridge. Perfect. That's our goal with that. So let's get fancy, I guess. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Let's get isometric. Exactly. You see? That's why we added Mario Odyssey moons. It's because it was just too easy. All right, so this is going to be kind of a waterfall coming down. We'll have like a nice little particle effect going on for a little bit of nice, bright, shiny stuff. You will not be able to get behind the waterfall from this side, but you will be able to from this side. That's my expert opinion on matters. Those moons are so many of them. There's so many of them. But yeah, we should have a little treasure back there that you can get. Mostly Maxi, thank you for the raid. Get a shout out. Doing game dev. Welcome in, Maxi. Thank you for coming in and bringing your community over. I really appreciate that. Everyone, welcome in. Thank you for coming over. I'm Dobbs. I'll introduce myself in a bit. Maxi, thank you so much. If you are coming in from a long stream and need a rest, I totally get it. If you need to get a drink or anything, please go right ahead. Welcome in, Raiders. So I'm Dobbs. I'm a software developer for a big faceless corporation, and in my evenings I make good things like video games that I like. Well, I guess I gotta show you guys what I'm working on. That's what the people like to see, right? I'm making. Well, that is a waterfall. That's fair. I'm making. Have you ever heard of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door? Because that is my favorite game, and I will info dump about that for a long time. I'm making my own version of that in Godot because I love the game. I love the engine. I think it is really, it's one of the best put together RPG systems I've ever seen. Mostly because of the very small numbers. So we've got this beautiful little world, and there's battles with snails, except the snail battle is turned off and replaced with some stalactites. We've been working on this project for almost 2 months now. It's coming together. We got fun little guys that you can chat to. The plot, I'm not going to bore you with the plot. Hey PK, welcome in. But it's exciting and interesting, and I'm proud of it. And the main interaction is turning gears, because I think that's fun. And so this is eventually going to be like a little sprinkler system that you're turning on, but right now it's just a placeholder, and then you do that, and then it goes. Oh, look at the water. There's a very subtle rainbow. It's very lovely, and then the flowers start to grow, and then you get these big flowers to jump on. It's lovely. It's a happy-go-lucky, fun, whimsical world. And that's it. And there's a battle system. That's what I've been working on. And tonight we're about to start another area, because now that I've kind of got a workflow in place, we're gonna really start getting into it. And so yeah, is there mining and crafting? There could be. Actually, I do have an area planned out in the style of an Old West gold mine. Mostly specifically because I want to have a boss battle on top of a moving train, and you're working your way up until you are like fighting the train itself. Crafting, I guess these style games, there's not a lot in this particular niche. There's kind of some offshoots, but the particular niche I'm looking at is Paper Mario 64, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and Bug Fables. Those are like the 3 games that really get the exact style I'm looking for. And you do have to have cooking in that genre. So not necessarily crafting, but that's close. Using ingredients to create other things. That's the general idea, at least. There's no sound in the game yet. I haven't built a sound system yet, and those trees are entirely too 3-dimensional for my liking. But yeah, tonight we're gonna work on where this path goes. Right now it just loops around to the test path, and don't worry. You may notice a snail falling in the background every time I load this room. Right about here. There he goes. Yes. Well, it's not just the robot. He's got a cast of friends with him as well. You just don't see them. But the robot will consume food for energy, and there's gonna be a little bit of like half-joking discussion of that topic in the game. But for the most part, it's just going to be hand-waved of, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Nobody ever questions healing items in video games. But yeah. This is what we've been working on for the past couple of months, and it's coming along. I've got some fun ideas of stuff we can do. We have a pause menu for badges. If you've ever done one of those Paper Mario games, you know the badge system is a pretty major part of it, and I'm combining that with inventory Tetris for when you're equipping new gear, because I think that would be a silly idea. And so that's what we're gonna try. We can dummy that out and go with a more traditional system if we need to, but for now, I think there's something to it. So yeah, here's the room we've finished, quote unquote. It's a little bare right now, a cub, if you will. And we're gonna make the room that goes next after you transition to it, which is gonna be room G, which we need the river running down the middle, big old rock, biomass consumption for a fuel burning reactor. Exactly. We can throw any kind of goofy explanation in and just tell the player, basically, don't worry about it, player. It's not important. That's not what you need to be looking at here. You're okay with the robot. All right. So we're working on figuring out what all needs to be in room G here. So I'm thinking we want a little bit of three-dimensionality. For one thing, we're coming in up top. Our entrance is somewhere up here. I mean, not quite that high. Maybe like... Here's about where our entrance comes in. So where do we go from there? What do we have in this room? What do we have in this room? Candy cane. Perfect. So we'll have like a backing of trees as kind of our wall. Trees and bushes. Don't worry about the details. Thank you for the space. Thank you for the soundboard spam. Love it. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing ever. Alright. So the big thing is we need the mouth of a cave. Do we need a major obstacle here to get by? Miss TF2, can't play it anymore. I miss the idea of TF2. I miss 2009, 2010 TF2. I could install it and play it, but I will not. I think the game that exists today is not the one that I really enjoyed. And boy, did I really enjoy it. Okay, so the idea is there's going to be a rock or something in the middle of the river. Oh, right, I was going to add more stumps. Team Dabble Fortress. You can't just throw genres at me and make me make video games again. Room F needs stumps, and that is to explain the fact that there's a log cabin there. Okay, so right here, there's going to be like a pile of logs, I guess. And by interacting with that, it's going to cause some of the logs to tumble into the river and get hung up on this rock. Which will make like a little bridge, a shortcut bridge. I got this one fairly recently. It was less than $100, and it's been a long time coming because the one I had before this I got in 2005. 2005. 2005. Wow. So anyway, it's 19 years old and is not doing too great. And it was like very tiny. Like even for the time, it was very entry level. This one is a lot nicer. It's still I would consider an entry level tablet, but for my needs, since I'm not actually doing significant digital art, this is perfect. Like I'm drawing the art for the game, but that doesn't need, especially for the style I'm using, that doesn't need fine-tuned control, perfect shading or anything like that. So I can get away with something kind of on the cheap side. So this works just fine. This is the Huion. Let me just pronounce that. It's Creative Penta HS611. Still got the box right there. Boom. There it is. Glowing recommendation. It's all right. They can use that in their marketing if they want to. I don't mind. Okay, so since this is going to come down to here, are they better at coding? They're already coding. That's my day job. so...
Tune in for a shocking episode of AlQuest where GQ states he's quitting the game before Gary can be taken away.
I am really looking forward to AlQuest on Sunday. That's our weekly Dungeons and Dragons game, run by Al. Hence, yeah, coding is what I do for a living, so I get a lot more time to hone my craft. I've done a lot of games before this, but this is my first big project in Godot. Gary's been killed off straight. No. That's too bad. Wait, Dorko, the goblin. No, you can't do this. A little mining off camera. Everyone but Dorko. Everyone is Dorko now. Okay, very vague idea here of just, I don't know. Just do this. Just to start out with, let's just start with this, okay? Something like that. Cave entrance up here. Oh, well, I definitely need you to go by the waterfall. So there's got to be some reason that you have to go that way, but then you can make like a shortcut. Is Godot as good as they say? I like it. I mean, it's got some quirks. Unity does too. Those are the main engines I've got experience with. I've tried Unreal, and I couldn't really get into it. One of the big obstacles for Unreal for me was I'm not a C++ guy. And I really don't like the visual scripting stuff of connecting bubbled nodes to other bubble nodes to do scripting. I don't know. That's just me. Like with shaders too. It's like, oh, the visual shaders. You plug this node into this one, and then you drag it to here. It's like, I don't want to drag and drop puzzle pieces. Let me just write the code. I've been doing that for a long time. And I feel much more comfortable with just typing out code than connecting bubbles. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's like I feel like I should be allowed to do that. No, yeah, it is a skill issue for me. C++, I've done C++, not professionally. What did I do? C? I don't even remember what project I did in C++. It must have been ages ago. Unity, I use C#. I'm very comfortable with C#. I do that a lot. I do C# a lot at work. So Unity scripting was pretty straightforward for me, but I got a little frustrated learning Unity, and I started keeping a document of all the dumb hoops I had to jump through to get things to work, because I kept running into weird snags that was just... the actual process you're supposed to use is just so far removed from what I expected that I was all right, I'm gonna keep a list of this to make sure I'm not going crazy here. Is Dabble Worlds Unity? No. Casual. Dabble Worlds is raw JavaScript. Actually, technically it's TypeScript. To be fair, it's TypeScript. Don't play Dabble Worlds. Dead game. Nobody plays Dabble Worlds. Actually, I need to see about someday, because the hosting is costing me money, and I could just throw Dabble Worlds on Steam for $100, make it a free game, but I'd have to update everything. So I was thinking of using Workshop for storing the levels instead of hosting my own database for it. But yeah, I did one full-fledged game in Unity that started out as kind of a dumb joke, and then I put it on Steam, and it did okay. Nothing crazy. It was at the height of the Suica craze last year. I was like, you know what? I need to learn Unity. why don't I make a Suika game? I bet I could do that. And then it was like a month later, I had a fully functioning, polished game with my own music and art and all this other stuff. I'm like, all right, we did it. Made a Unity game. Easy. Is the language just Python? It's very close to Python. It may as well be Python, unless you're good at Python, and then you're gonna find a few things missing that you wish you had. You did show your friends Pen Pals? Oh, thank you. I shouldn't be proud of Pen Pals because it is basically a Suika clone. 10x dev confirmed. Done. I mean, we got this game up and running in 2 months. That's pretty good. Dabble Worlds is a full-fledged platformer maker game like Mario Maker, and that one was probably 4 or 5 months, give or take. But I've been updating it, so that's not fair to say it only took that long. Suika, if Suika was good, that's true. Okay. Right, we were gonna make a frog face here, but then I was thinking about the waterfall. We can move the frog if we need to. All right, so I have a big frog face. We're not gonna go like super like, oh, this is 100% a frog cave mouth. We want it to kind of like be reminiscent of a frog, but not be like, okay, that's clearly just a stone frog. Yes, but the idea is that it will be a long time. Well, Chapter 2 partner would give you a little bit of vertical or horizontal movement across, probably not across the entire river, but enough that we could hide like a little treasure for later. More frog-like than frog-light. Thank you, Al. Yes. So imagine we put like a little island out here. And we put a little goodie on top. That's our goodie right there. No, that's not our goodie. Our goodie needs to be bright and exciting. That wasn't bright enough. Cheerier. We put a little goodie. We put a little goodie there to entice the player for later. And then if they remember that after Chapter 2, they might come back this way to pick up the treasure while also doing some side quests. Have I played Inside Story? I played through it one time, and I remember almost nothing about it. It was a little forgettable for me. I played Partners in Time one time through, and that one was I liked that one a little bit better. The French block guy. I do remember the French block guy. Yes. So this will be like a little hover across, grab a treasure, yay. But I want to make sure that we've got a little frog NPC here. And his sole purpose in life is he's going to be there to point out that you can't get everything immediately. I had this issue in Celeste, which is a weird game to draw in suddenly into this conversation, where early in the game I was going in completely blind. I didn't know a thing about the game, and I was struck with the idea of like, am I gonna get new abilities later that'll let me collect some of these, or can I collect all of these now? And that one question, what is his name? The frog. He is the frog. Fishing Frog 2. I do need to decide if I'm going to do individual NPC tattles like Thousand Year Door does. Thousand Year Door lets you use one of your partners to get hints about the current room you're in, but also, if you use the ability while you're next to anyone in the entire game, she has a little spiel to tell you their life story, basically. Oh yeah, I guess that's in 64 as well. I haven't played 64 as recently. Thousand Year Door, I played Thousand Year Door a lot, maybe too much. I played it through like 3 times this year already. Is that right? That can't be right. That surely is not right. At least twice. Once with my daughter and once on stream with another challenge run. And then I guess we did the one of the mods for the GameCube version. So if we do that, we're going to have to name every NPC, which can be done and would be a fun thing to do. All right. This frog, when you talk to him, he's going to explain in some kind of not exactly flowery language, but he's going to be a little bit abstract about it. But he's going to explicitly tell you some treasures you cannot get yet. That's all he needs to tell you. You're going to see him, you're going to be like, I'm going to ask this frog what's going on. And he's going to when you talk to him, you're going to be able to see that treasure in the distance while he's meaningfully telling you. No, he's just going to meaningfully tell you that that you will get more abilities as this game goes on. Remember where treasures are and why you can't get them. That's it. Try and remember where the treasures are so that when you get new abilities, you remember where to go looking later. So that's what this guy's for. So I need you to come down to the lower level, closer to the water. The mouth of the cave could be either place. That would be great. Would be great. We should definitely do that. I mean, obviously there should be some kind of gear system, right? Could put some boulders in between. That's true. I mean, it could be something where you have to go down and like do some kind of mechanism to create the path across. Like maybe there's a big gap in the way, but there is like step down, kind of organic stairs. You know, kind of something along this line here. You know, nice fun little stairs going on here. So you can hop down these rocks or just jump off. It doesn't matter. The rocks are to get you back up. And then I want a different one. Give me... No, that's the same one again. That'll work. Something like pushing, but keep in mind, the main verb of this game is turn. So it's going to be something perhaps that is toothed like a gear, but not necessarily an actual literal gear. That turning it triggers some kind of reaction that causes things to fall into place properly. Mario and Luigi Inside Story. Sure. Let's get some different music. That seems very similar. All right. What about the frog's mouth? Like, what if there's a big boulder or something in the way? And there's some loose rocks that you're able to spin your gear at, and that causes the rock to sort of tumble down and fill a gap that lets you cross. Then the question is, well, maybe it's got some vines growing on it, and you tangle the vines up with your gear. So maybe some vines growing across it. To the next screen too, and stops at a ledge that you can jump up and get. What about just rolls and lands in the river? Well, then you're going across. I want you to go in this way. Because there's this whole dungeon you're supposed to go through. Well, not dungeon, but, you know, cave. You gotta start out with a nice cave dungeon. You could hit the frog. Perfect. It's not a real frog. Well, there's a frog in the cave. Can't circumvent the cave. It's vital. What if the boulder rolls to the side, but in the way out, it falls. On the way out, it falls down. Like down here. So that you could, like, jump up and across. I mean, that works as well. Mostly my main thing is I want it so that you can't just go straight into the cave. Oh, after completing the dungeon. Maybe something like that. Is there some way the stream can be blocked, and then we unblock the stream, and that causes the log to rotate, and the gear mechanism drops stairs? That's a lot. That's a lot going on. Okay, critical path here. The main thing I want for the character to do, I don't want them to just walk across, interact with something, and then go into the cave. I want them to, for some reason, have to come down this way and get close to the river, because I want them to get definite visual cue, like I am still next to the river. Not only that, I'm next to an identifiable landmark, the waterfall. Want to see that waterfall. And then after they've done that, they will be some way to interact with something that causes access to the cave. Now that could be that currently there just is no way up because, like, there's just, for some reason, you know, specifics aren't important, but there's no path there. There's no path right now. So our goal is to get up there, but we can't right now. Snail slime. Ew. And, like, something along the lines of the flower is close to what we want. Like, it could be like some kind of seesaw mechanism or something. Like, it could be some platforms that raise up to form little stepping stones across. For whatever reason. All right, I'll queue that one up. Gerudo Valley. It doesn't have to be a boulder. It doesn't have to be things popping out of the ground. Does the little section between lead to a tiny room? Maybe. I mean, this is all going to be one big room. I want to try and stand out a bit from Thousand Year Door by making the areas a little bit larger. Not necessarily intricate, not necessarily like more dense or anything, or even more spread out. I want it to be there's going to be a lot of stuff there. Okay, yeah. An old bridge that collapses. All right, let's follow that trail a little bit. A bridge collapses. Yeah. Something like that. Does that make sense? Dynamite. Oh, geez. Yeah. Just give me that key item, dynamite. Take care of that real quick. It's not bad. Let's see here. Oh, I dread the idea of animating a breaking bridge. But the bridge could be something. Like there is a path, but it breaks, and now you have to go the long way around to get back up. And then, why, how do you fix it? Like if it's... Is bridge the way to go? What are the partners you're thinking of for this part of the game? This is chapter 1. You're only going to have one partner, which is your get a hint partner. And you're not going to get any additional partners until chapter 2. Just a loose rope. I have a dumb idea, but I don't think it fits for this particular scenario. But imagine like there's like a loose rope dangling, and you're like, oh, we need to make it taut, and then you start winding it up until it's taut, and then you keep winding, and then the entire landmass just shifts over. That would be fun. We're not going to do that for this case, but I want to use that idea somewhere. It's a little bit of whimsy. I like a little bit of whimsy. Yeah, just push something in place to fill in a gap and then walk over it. I love the little gags. Like easy gags that it's like just moving a thing is not hard to animate with the system we've got built for the gear magic. Just launch yourself. Let's see here. Hit something with a gear and spin things, and then a thing happens. Drawbridge. Maybe something like could there be something like that? Like maybe it's just like there's like a wound up, like the bridge is all like wound up, and it's like a regular rope bridge, and there's like a dangly rope. And you gear into it, and then the bridge just like unwinds into a nice straight bridge with guardrails and everything. And you just don't worry about it. It's just we unwind a bridge, but we got to get to the loose rope, which maybe it's more on this side or something. Yeah, it's all tangled up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it that way. So we'll have the bridge be over here, and there's just a little rope, and you just pull the rope with your gear. I gotta figure out how to animate that well with the system we've got. It's too much queuing. I don't have a dedicated queue system. All right, so that will unwind a bridge. So that means this area can be fairly shallow. We don't need a lot of depth to it, but we'll have some kind of handful of enemies running around down here to deal with. Maybe one up here near where the bridge would start. I was thinking about possibly some kind of aquatic chapter late game. Pirates could happen. Spider balls. Specifically Turpider. Okay, I think this works pretty well. Optional stuff over here? Or maybe this is just a bit of just rocky landscape, you know, big boulder, the usual kind of stuff you got going on. Just kind of a craggy rock wall there. And then a small step up here, or step down, I guess, when you come out of the cave. That's going to be our cave exit. Okay, so we're not doing the mossy rock. We're just gonna do a vaguely frog-shaped cave entrance. Kind of rocky wall here. Very rock, very rock. Big, massive marble frog statues. No, I love it. I love the ideas. That's kind of why we're doing the brainstorming session. It works well. There's gonna be a boulder blocking the exit, so you have to solve a puzzle at the end of the dungeon. No, to get out, you just fight a mini boss. A frog with a sword. Yeah. I don't consider the frog people in this to be, like, particularly, you know, bearing a sword. They seem very agrarian. The ones we've drawn so far, at least. It's a very, like, peaceful village. The frog people are friendly, yes, except for one. His name is Glenn. Ha. We should have one of them be named Glenn. There's the mini boss is tentatively named Old Jeremiah. He is a massive bullfrog. Oh my gosh! Now Short's here. Short, welcome in. How is Crab Game? We're planning out an area, and then we're gonna try and block it out in Blender here in just a bit. Goose raid! Yeah, goose! Get goosed, nerd! Welcome in, everybody, over from Short. I feel like Short raids fairly often, so maybe everybody already knows me. But if you don't, hi, I'm Dobbs. I do game development a lot. I also play Mario, but that's for when we're just done. But right now, this is the season of game development. We already shouted it though. He's doing the Crab Game. He's doing Crab Souls. All right, you want to see what we got, Short? You want to see our beautiful animations and such? You want to see the beautiful rainbow I made the other day? And water fountain. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I'm tooting my own horn so hard right now. Get to see it again. So you go through this area, and you got to get up to that area. I need to add a stone archway there to make it more obvious that that's the path ahead. And you turn on this guy's hose. You can't tell that there's a hose yet, but there is. And then it zooms over here, and then the sprinklers turn on, and the flowers start to grow, and you get a rainbow that appears. And then the flowers grow big. Actually pretty dark. I haven't heard a whole lot about it. GQ started playing it a while back, and I don't know if that went anywhere. There you go. That's how you get up. Amazing. Amazing. It's the second time we've shown off the rainbow. Haha, cute crab game. I want haha cute bug game soon. We got treasure chest now. You did. You went for the gun pretty fast, GQ. I need to just raise this up at some point. All right, so this is area F, and we're gonna design area G next. I do need to put more stuff. I need to I have a stump model, but I don't like how it turned out. I need to remake it at more at this scale. You did use it, it's true. We needed it. And then we'll have an enemy over here. Maybe just one on the way out. And then you can leave alongside the river. And that's it. That's the area. That's our plan. And then we'll put lots of like little bits of terrain, cliff stuff. What do we do with this area? You got anything we want over here? Like, you're gonna come over vaguely over here, but not very close to the waterfall. We could put a little prize behind the waterfall, like on this side, I guess. Maybe a tiny room. Maybe there's a scene transition here that leads to a tiny room back here, with just to show, like, okay, yes, you look behind the waterfall. Here's your prize. Fine, you got it, and that's it. You know, maybe some money or a helpful item or something. But yeah, that's a good idea. And then out here, I don't know, just something decorative. Something decorative outside of a... Could have another frog. There will probably be some kind of hide-and-seek quest at some point. And then we'll probably have an extra wall up here that we put the bushes and trees on. Oh, cat? I haven't added her to the engine yet. I'm still on the fence whether or not I want her to have the big wrench or not. Part of me wants to make her pure thief character. Make her the Glane. But at the same time, wrench could work. Wrench could fit pretty nicely. Could be cool. Okay. I think this is the idea. Sort of combining Gary and Glane. Wow. Oh no. I guess so. Unfortunately, that's accurate. Okay, I think we're ready to get modeling, weirdly enough. I have no idea how I'm going to model this rock wall. It's going to be a lot of just wiggling vertices around and hoping for the best. I do not know how to model a rock wall, so let's just see what happens. Crack open Blender. I need to check the size of the of area F to make sure that we get this appropriately sized. This area F is very long. Okay, let's see here. Open. We called it map 2, apparently. Yeah, that's the one. Have a good night, Casual. Been awesome having you. That would be something. Oh, don't look at it from that distance. Yeah, that's actually a separate mesh on top there. Okay. Why can't I actually, like, select this? What's going on here? Well, there's that at least. Okay. If I just add a cube. Scale X. This is a silly way to do this, to get a rough measurement. Okay, that's about 30 units. So the depth of the current room is 30 units. So I'm gonna want... the river. It's gonna be like that. Whimsy. Yeah, I love whimsy. Love some good whimsy. 30 units. So this is gonna be pretty small. And this does not need to be this large. Is 30 by 30 good enough to... It might be. We'll try 30 by 30. All right, make a new document. Do not save changes. All right, let's try a 30 by 30. Wait, was it scaled by 30? It was scaled by 30. Okay, something like this is the general idea. And then take this, and subdivide it a lot of times. There we go. This is how I've been doing the terrain, and it works. It's fine. Oh, I guess I need to figure out what the height... Okay, I can use this, right? I think it's like the player can jump up 1 unit. Yeah, this is like 2 units here. Yeah, okay. Player can jump up 1 unit. So let's keep that in mind. So that means... You're coming in at a height of 2 from the water. I guess I need to figure out... Yeah, okay, water is there. That's a good... Yeah, that's a decent size for the water. We're probably going to copy this scene so we make sure that we get the exact same environment and everything. Okay, this back wall here is 1.5 units tall to make sure you can't jump up it. And this one is 2 units. Wait, is it? Is it? Or is it 3? 1, 2, 3. It's actually 3 units tall. And then this one is 2. Okay. Okay. So you're up 2 units at this point. So we're in the... When we're in the back zone... Alright. Here we go. Back wall. I'm just gonna go up to, like, here. And then front wall, and then river. How far across can you jump? How many units across can I jump? Can I jump across this? Yes. How big is that? One, two, three. Okay, I can jump about 3 units. So we need to make sure the river is more than 3 units wide. Let's go for about 8-ish. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this entire object and we're gonna scale it by 2.5. And we're gonna get the knife out and we're gonna start cutting things. Okay, so that's where our little NPC is going to be sitting, looking at the island out there and saying, oh, you can't reach it. Willow, hello, we're carving a river. Will the river have fish? It will definitely have frogs sitting outside of it. All right, and then we're gonna go with a little bit of that, and then bring it in for the rocks. Let's have the, actually, yeah, hang on, that's something to consider. We need to make sure that the rocks are accounted for. Lily pads. Maybe some decorative lily pads. Frog temple. Well, if the frogs have a temple, they'd probably have it at their frog village. Then come back out a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's gonna be our main river block. So let's extrude that down. Let's do some extrusion, y'all. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Will he be wearing pants? Some of the frogs will have pants, some will not. Plan accordingly. Okay, I'm gonna do it like that. And then we're going to delete these edges. Oop, don't like that. Can we delete these vertices? Well, you know what we can do is face. There we go. That'll work. What don't you like about that? I don't get it. Oh, dissolve. That's what I wanted. I wanted dissolve vertices, not delete vertices. That was what I did wrong. He went bad. Oh, that was one song done. Gerudo Valley was recommended next. I don't know what's going on with the banana, honestly, but I'm down. I'm down with it. Oh, that's the idea. The mean banana. Okay. So up 2 blocks. Okay, so we have an area behind the waterfall over here. You gotta have an area behind the waterfall, of course. Big entrance. He's made peace with it. Great. Hey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hey, King Boo, welcome in. Boy, everybody coming in tonight. Welcome in, guys. How is the, let's see, what are we doing tonight? Doing some software work? You're working on your Linux installs? What are you making? I am making a game very similar to the old Paper Marios. We'll do a quick show off here. So we've got a little robot with a little gear on his back, and he goes through whimsical worlds and stuff, and has fun and fights monsters and doesn't afraid of anything. Making games, always making games around here. Well, not always, just sometimes. Blender is, I mean, it's very powerful. There is a learning curve. Everybody's here. It's it takes some getting used to, but once you kind of have a better understanding of all the tools available in Blender, you actually get a little bit, only 1 damage even with the action command. That particular enemy has high defense. Actually, it gets even higher when it goes into defense mode. Yeah. Those were the last enemies I actually coded up, and that's why they're showing up in the fight. Because I actually don't have separate fights coded up yet. That system doesn't exist. There's just one guy running around, and he is every fight. Not old enough for a job yet. Well, that'll be fixed with time. Estimate for total playtime? I'm going for something around... I'd like to hit like the 30-hour mark or so for an average playthrough. More with side content. Bug Fables I'm using as a good metric for what a good indie Paper Mario looks like. So that's kind of my litmus test. Is it's gotta be good like that. Got a strawberry. Bottom text. Like to make stuff, even games, wonderful. All right. So what we're working on tonight specifically is we want to make another area, another part of the game. Here's what we've drawn up so far. This is the room right before the first mini dungeon. A middle of chapter dungeon, which is going to be pretty short, have very light puzzles, and then all in the service of getting you to the other side of this river. At which point you can create a shortcut across the river with some logs. So we are trying to figure out exactly how we're going to get that squared away. Did horribly. It's a different skill set than normal programming, I would say. It's very different. Trying again soon though, nice. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, let's have a little bevel in this ledge, wherever we put it. I'm gonna put it here. And then let it go across, and then kind of cut this way. I think that's what we want to do here with this block. You can design but can't code where squat. I mean, maybe that means you just gotta kind of like find someone who can't design but can code. That might be the trick. Yeah, it is built in Godot. I've built in Unity, Godot. The only paid like commercial game I've got was built in Unity, and I have a good night, Willow. Thank you for coming in. Get you some rest. I like many others shifted away from Unity after last year when they started going off the deep end, and I realized maybe that's not the right piece of software to really invest myself into. My own AI? No, it's just a bot. It just responds to commands. I don't have a URL. Oh, that was Lurl. I get it. A lurk typo. Yeah. I've got the bot running on .NET. It just runs locally on my machine. Connects to Twitch chat. Okay, then again, I want to make this angle pretty good. I want to make it so that even with the map kind of angled at like a 45 degree, you won't kind of hide yourself behind it. So that means nothing sharper than 45 degrees here. Somehow. And also you can't jump across. That's also important. Maybe like this, and then that will... wall somehow gets across here. You can kind of hide yourself in there, maybe. We'll see. I don't know, the bot is like one of the least interesting projects I've done. Cool. It gets the job done. It does what I need it to, which is just regurgitate information. That's probably fine like that. Maybe we'll let it come out a little bit at the end here. Okay, let's try that. Okay. We can always go back and change this later if we need to. Okay. No! This can't be happening! Okay, and then this one is, again, gonna kind of... curve around. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I like that. I like that. I'm doing this kind of process of it's not really a curve because I want things to be vaguely grid based, but not so much so that it's really obvious. Mostly because it captures that feel of kind of those GameCube era and N64 era games. Whoops. Okay, extrude that up by 3 units. A cookie the size of your head. That is a big cookie. All right, I've done something goofy here. Okay, I think that may have fixed it. I had some double vertices there. Okay. That's a big bridge. It's a big bridge to have, isn't it? Ah, but maybe... All right, something I haven't done yet is... seeing behind walls to see the player. I'm not really sure how I'm going to pull that off exactly. So I may make this a separate object, but I want to have like a little bit here. Like the bridge goes halfway and then stops, and then there's more bridge. Have a good one, meme. Thank you for dropping in. Okay, but that looks all right there. We may even model the little rock wall stuff separately instead of in this terrain model. Same for this one. And this will just be the basic landmass, and then we'll just plop the details on top. Yeah, I like that. So then, therefore, let us add details. Okay, hang on, quick check. These little notches here, how big did we make those? .3? Maybe? Yeah, 0.3. Okay, that seems reasonable. All right, yeah, we're just gonna do a little bit of that. Of just kind of making some ledges. Now this area here will be important for where the logs kind of get stuck and form a bridge. I don't know if we need to put anything there. It's fine as is. All right, let's just make some little blobs of land here. And then something like this to this. And then back around to this. Just some weird little abstract blobs. This gives the area a little bit more character. Although, that particular blob shape would create some problems with making this a good area for enemies to be patrolling. Which I don't like that as much. I want the enemies to be able to get around a little bit easier. So maybe we'll just make it a more solid setup like this. There we go, like that. And something similar down here. This. This. Yeah. All right. Next up, now that we've gotten the basic landmass over here done, this is very featureless and void. I don't like that as much. I want to give this a little bit of something, even if it's just like a little bit of a little mini ledge going on over here. Something like that. Just to give it a little bit more. Okay. Throw that together. And extrude out 0.3. That is good enough for me. It's extremely basic right now. But that's going to work in our advantage. Okay. Now the magic. I wrote this down. Okay. First off, let me take this over here and make sure this is map 01-G. Now I actually have a naming scheme set up, so that's good. Okay, so what we need to do is select, nope, object mode, no. Shift G, select planar, or by normal, coplanar. No, that only does that. Surely I can select by normal. There we go. Okay, so that's every surface selected that is flat, which is what I want. Also, I need to copy paste this. And also give it collision. Okay, so get rid of this. Now we're gonna edit this instead. Okay, select everything with the same normal. P to separate by selection. And now I have just the surface, the grass. What am I gonna do here? With that, I'm going to extrude down 0.2. Whoop. Hang on, that didn't look like it was doing what I wanted. Extrude along the z-axis. 0.2. 0.2. Z. 0.2. Okay, yeah, okay, 0.2 down. Good enough. Double check these normals. Everything is wrong. Great. What's the button for fixing normals again? Mesh. Mesh, normals. Flip. There we go. Alt-in, I think that was it. Okay, we fixed it. I'm glad I checked that. That was about to be really, really weird. I'm just, as a general rule, I have learned, check your normals. Okay, the next step. We want to select the outer planes. So what I want to do is do this again, except deselect. What was it? What was my trick here? Actually, what was my trick here? Oh, wait. I know. Shift G to select everything with the normal, and then invert selection. It's Control I. Yeah. Okay, so hang on. So I need to select normal with that. Select normal with that. Now I've got all the up and down surfaces. And now invert selection. So now I've got just the edges. And now Alt S negative 0.1. Nope. Positive 0.1. Nope. All right, hold on now. That seems a little bit big. 0.01? Maybe 0.01. Still doesn't look quite how I wanted it to, and I wonder if it's because of the weird edges there. But you know what? Good enough. So my idea. Oh, and then take this whole object and move it up by 0.05. Okay. So what I've been trying to do is get grassy overhang, and modifiers are not doing it for me. I've tried combinations of solidify and skin and all that stuff, and I just haven't found a good solution for it. At one point, I had something completely coded in Godot that would like manually add, like, plaster some meshes to the edges, and that was an ugly solution. I don't like that at all. So temporarily, this is my setup, is just adding this little grassy overhang. Okay. Let me pull this over temporarily and make sure I'm getting my properties correct here. Material, image texture, I don't know. It's not these. What? All right, hold on. Yeah, and PK, if you got any ideas as of a better approach for getting that kind of like, you can't just search for like grass related to 3D modeling, because what you're going to get back is like 3D shader quality grass, and that's not what I want. I just want, like, you know, the blob of grass on top of like the old school N64 models, where it was just like, I just want the top plane, and then I just want it to like expand slightly in all directions. But everything around that, it's like, well, you can expand it, you could scale it. Well, no, I don't want to scale it, because then the interior angles aren't going to line up anymore. Anyway. Not really just... Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea, is that I want to wrap the top surfaces with a separate mesh that can have a different texture and potentially shader on it. Because that also helps with the, what is it? One of the plugins I grabbed for Godot was Spatial Gardener, maybe was what it was called. It was for applying multi-meshes in specific spots. And it works very nicely. I'm surprised Godot doesn't have something like that built in. Multi-meshes are extremely powerful performance-wise, but uncontrollable. It's really weird. Okay, save this, and then open map 2 again. Yeah, check the material here. Where is this material stored? Ah, got it. Okay. Back to here. So it was one folder up. That's where it was. Image, texture, open. Dirt. Beautiful. Okay. Let's export that. Double check to make sure that our solidity is correct. Oh, almost forgot. This section right here, this whole block, we don't need that at all. Perfect. Gotcha. No, that's fine. Okay, that looks better. Export as a GLB map 01G. And then we'll make a little prize room back here at some point too. All right, let's load it up. Let us start by just duplicating this whole thing. Duplicating. 01. New folder. Room G. Go ahead and plop this in. 01g.glb. Nice. Duplicate this as room G. Now we open room G, and we get rid of some stuff. Let's see here. Get rid of shrubs. What even is this? What is this doing here? I don't even know what this is doing. Snail actor will probably go away at some point. It's fine. All right, throw it in. Map 01G looks good. Editable children, please, because I need to add a shader onto the grass specifically, not the dirt. All right, let's move everything over and then delete the original. Wait. First, let's get the rotation how we want it. I think like this is the rotation we want. A 45. Okay. Move everything over and delete the map. And now, well, that's already a good start right there. We don't need this chest right now. We definitely don't need this cabin over here. This whole animation is not pertinent to this area. This is actually already a good start. Okay, the entry tab. You're gonna be up here. Okay. That's fine right there. Oh, I need to make sure to specify where this goes. This tab over here is entry point right. Ooh, this one's gonna have a lot. Okay, so it is now going to room G dash bottom dash left. And so now on room G, I just need to click that into this. It should just be bottom left, right? A dash top. That's just top. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this no longer leads to A top. This now leads to F right. Room 01 or chapter 1, room F right side. That already should work. And now this tab over here, let's rename this one for clarity. Bottom left, and this is going to be tab bottom right. I'm kind of pretty satisfied with how the map transition system works. It seems like it will be easy to add on to later. Okay, face it in there. Okay. Bottom right. Oh, and this doesn't go anywhere yet. That's this one. I can send it to bottom right. Okay, so that might actually work already. If I go here, I'm immediately in a battle. What? Don't know where I am. I'm in the wrong area. That should take me to 01G bottom right. So that's chapter 01, map G. Entry point bottom right. Yeah, that should take me there. Weird. Huh. Okay, so what if I start here? Oh, right. I cannot actually just jump into a specific room like that very easily. Well, we'll figure it out. Let's get these trees and background items moved a bit. Oh. Just a nice row of bushes. Some nice trees up here. We're gonna change this tree prefab later. It's way too circular. All right, and these are actually going to go away in favor of rocks pretty soon. Let's get rid of that. That. That'll be a big rock wall there. This guy is going to be a new little guy. He's going to be over here somewhere. What just happened? Oh, because I'm just grabbing the dialogue zone. I need to grab the whole actor. Set him right there. Okay, so he's got specific dialogue. He is not allowed to turn around when he talks. Okay, that's pretty good. We still got time. Let's model some rocks. We're gonna need a texture for it. Gonna need a good texture. How big was this texture? 100 by 100 pixels. That is not very detailed. Perfect. All right, let's get some stone here. We may not even need, I do want it to be wraparound. Okay. Let's get some nice, cool blues and grays in here. Something like that. Hey, thanks for the follow. That's, I mean, it'll be good enough as long as I scale it out a bit. All right. Let us plop that. That's the nice thing is these textures are very easy to change later. All right. Let's try to make some stones. So these don't need to be huge, and we can scale them up. Godot does not like us to scale them non-uniformly, like to stretch their X but not their Y. So we want to make sure whatever size we land on here, it's pretty proportional. All right, so let's see here. Let's just make some rockiness to this, and we'll scale it as we need to. Okay. Well, that's too big, first of all. There we go. Let's just cut a bit out of it here and there. Okay. That doesn't look quite right, does it? Yeah, that's not a good look. Delete that face. Let's actually manually create that face. Like that one. There we go. Let's go ahead and just subdivide these. Well, hang on. Let's undo all this first. Let's start with subdivision. That might make more sense. Yeah, let's start with that. All right, delete faces. Make faces at things. Cut corners. Dissolve vertices. Extrude little bits here and there. whatever we do with this, we need to make sure the collision is simplified, I think. Because this would be pretty ugly otherwise. Looks all right. Got some ugly polygons there. Bow this out a little bit. Bring this in a little bit. Right, this little edge here. Okay. Cool, cool. Looks nice. Kind of nice little low poly rock, which is exactly what we're going for, so perfect. Let's throw that, or grab the texture from here. Okay, well that looks pretty awful with that repeating texture. But it's a good start. This one's good for a nice flat. Hey, Kip, what's going on? Let's see here. Just make the scale a little bit bigger, I guess. Is that what we need? I mean, that's fine. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Shade flat. Shade flat. 100% shade flat, please. Could do with like a little bit of green vines and stuff on it, but meh. That looks good enough for me. Yeah, it's fine. Rock platform. All right. Export that real quick. We'll sprinkle a few of them around. We're gonna put this in the shared folder. Hold on. In there. Jeez, I turn away for a second and it's just like suddenly everything's covered in minigame. All right, so we're going to make a new scene, right? Yeah, because we're gonna add to this a static body with a collision shape of box. Incredible. All right, so first of all, bigger. There we go. That's it. That's our box. It's that simple. Put that in scenes, chapter 1, shared, rock platform, save. And now we can just plop a few of those down. Plop some of those bad boys in here. Oh, barriers. That might be what's messing things up, actually. Oops. Forgot about these. So, all right. So, these. Okay, so these are the invisible walls that surround an area. I don't have this automated yet, and it would probably be nice if I did. Part of the problem is that these little ledges where you kind of pass between, those are not necessarily, you know, tied to the model in a meaningful way. So it doesn't quite work out as well. Somehow there's going to be a wall there. Somehow there's going to be a wall there. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. That might have been what was screwing everything up, but maybe not. Okay, barriers. We'll fix those in a bit. Now then, a rock. Oops, not node 2D. That would be pointless. I need a node 3D. We'll just call it stones. And we'll just plop in some rock platforms to lounge about on. So is that enough to get up? Maybe not. I want to duplicate that. I want to scale it. I want to rotate it around so we're not seeing the exact same side. Maybe even flip it. Can I stretch that even more? Oh wait, whoops, I made everything negative somehow. All right, okay, sure. Gotta remember, that is forward in this map. So doing something like this would be okay. Why does this keep transforming in weird ways I don't expect? Oh, it did it again. It did it again. What was that? Wait. What's going on here? Okay. Well, now the X coordinate is back. All right, you know what? Whatever. It's fine. All right, there we go though. We have some rocks scattered about. Now here's a question. Could we use some of those rocks for a big wall of rocks? Like, say, a cliff face. If we got really creative with stacking and scaling things. Like, this doesn't look super convincing yet. It's not going to be great at all, is it? Like, there's just not enough there. It's just too sharp. All right. You have won me over. We need to make more rock. With rock wall. All right, rock wall needs to be a little bit more intense of a rock. Maybe a bit smoother, I don't know. Let's subdivide. That's not gonna work at all. All right. First of all, delete everything. Almost everything. Delete a lot. There we go. Delete most everything. Until all that remains is this sad excuse. All right. Now, confirm the normals. Flip the normals. Disable looking at normals. All right. Subdivide everything, but like more than usual. All right. Let's take that. And I don't even know now. Let's blob it up, I guess. Let's just grab some faces and move them in ways. That shouldn't be extruded. That should be... Yeah, here we go. Let's disturb this topology. Let's make this topology uncomfortable. And then after we do that, we'll do some more weird stuff to it. We're gonna get weird with it. Right now, of course, it still looks fairly normal. That's the only one. That's the only GameCube game there was. Didn't you realize? Okay. Next up, grab some individual vertices and just wiggle them around a bit. Grab this one and this one. I don't know. Grab this one and this one. Grab this one. Grab this one. Okay. So it's still decidedly cube-like. So let's take these. Well, that's awful looking. Yeah, we're gonna round the corners a bit. My plan for that was to take the center faces and scoop them all up a bit as the initial way of doing it. I want to make sure that it's like really not clean. I yearn for order, but I must resist. Okay, that's looking a little bit blobbier. Nice. Oh, wait, you know what? One thing I could do is take this and scale down to bring it towards the middle a bit. Oh, look at this. Look at this base here. Look at this basic base. Okay. Modifiers. Let's grab some modifiers here to really mess with some things. What is it? What is it? I messed with one of these. Displace. Too much, too much, too much, too much. I mean, it certainly blobs it up a bit. And then, just for kicks, throw a subdivision surface on that. What does that look like? A little too smooth. I mean, admittedly, this is a little too crisp. I think part of the issue is I want some of it to be a bit more smooth. Actually, some of it looks great. Some of it looks awful. Hang on, hang on. There was something to that. There was something to that. All right, hold on now. What did I like about this? What did I like about this weird blob? Very irregular shapes, for one thing. Direction normal. X only? Well, no. Oh, wait. Okay, I mean, that's great and all, but that's just inflating and deflating it, so that's not what I want. Here we go, texture. Give me a new, what is it? Make a new texture. Hang on, there's a way to do this. Here we go, image, change it to clouds. Okay, that's working a little bit. Yeah, here we go. Just a little bit more zaniness to it. Now it looks a little bit too pointy, but we're getting there. It's so smooth. It's too smooth. Take this out. Take this out and then add some additional subdivisions. Does that? No, that's not going to help. I think this is a good start. Kind of want to like add another displacement. Actually, no. Using a new... use a noise check. That's probably going to be zany, but maybe in a good way. Okay, but that's not doing anything, though, is it? Oh, because I don't have the, Yeah, this one is a little bit too much, isn't it? It's because of that. It's because of the particular texture I chose. Move this in a specific direction. See, that just wiggles it, but only along one axis. Which actually, that does help in a way, because it gets things a bit more off the grid instead of just moving things along the normal. So honestly, yeah. And then do this one along the y-axis. Okay, there actually is something to that. It's not quite there. Whoa. So that's kind of nice because I can just like pick a different zone. And the fact that it's the same cloud is probably not helping. Too crisp on some of these edges. But you know what? Maybe if we just spot check them a little bit, because that's really good right there. Let's apply these. Let's apply these. These have just changed the position of the vertices. And now if we just kind of sand down some of these more egregious points and parts where it's flipped. Oh, we're not listening to that one. There we go. Yeah, these places where it like overlaps in weird ways that it's not supposed to. We just fix those. Like a few oddities is fine, but I don't want any geometry doing that. There's a little one right here. Okay. Big old low poly rock. I like shade flat, typically. This one's a little bit weird that way. Okay. I like this a lot at the top. All right. Yeah. Let's go with it. That's now officially rock wall. Export it. As rock wall. I don't think we need to share rock wall between different rooms. Actually, I don't even think we need to do that. All right. So we can do some like zany rotations and such on this to like make it a little less obvious. Well, these squares are still going to be pretty obvious, but just to make it less repetitive of a texture when we start blocking in a few of them together. Oh yeah, we need the waterfall still, don't we? Hi Al, welcome back. We're just making some big old rock wall here. Somewhere in here is going to be the behind the waterfall section, so this isn't set in stone. Ha, stone. Transform this down a bit more, make it look a little bit more detailed and stuff. Of course, sheep. So we got this little fake cave here, which is going to act as the entry-exit point on that side. I wonder if we can just kind of model a frog out of these blocks, out of these blob rocks here. Blob rocks. That's that guy that does the painting. Let's see. How can we make a frog out of this? That could vaguely be a frog. So like, take one of these and flatten it. Huh? Huh? Right? Right? See it? Do you see it? Now, part of the problem is that it's like really, really awkwardly scaled. Maybe if I change that up a little bit. Then it's like kind of frog-like. Yeah, yeah. I can see it. Okay, that actually doesn't look bad. Okay, now what does look bad is that I still can't seem to get this to work. Where is it taking me? What room did it just take me to? Where am I? Okay, tell me where I am. Room. I'm in map 01G apparently. But it's putting me in a battle. So it should be taking me to this door right here. Is this guy... Here's his encounter zone. Where's his encounter zone? Okay, wait, that's not an encounter zone. Where's the actual encounter zone? Says it's right there. If I took this snail and I stuck it down here, would that let me get out of here? I don't like that the screen goes gray. That implies not great things about where we are. We're in a room. It says we're in 01G. And it says our current position is... basically dead center origin. Why would we take... Okay, actually that does explain one thing though, because that would be in the snail's target zone, but it should be taking us over here. So Scene Manager is what is supposed to handle moving us into the room. Fade to new room. So it adds a player node to the room. And then it looks for the entry code that matches the entry num. I should add some kind of handling here. No entry zone matching entry num. Let's see if that's what's happening. Yes, that is what's happening. It cannot find the entry zone that matches bottom. Bottom. We're not looking for bottom, are we? We shouldn't be. Oh, it can't handle dashes, can it? That's probably the problem. Okay. Bottom right. Bottom left. Okay. That's just a limitation of the system I built. Okay, so now that should work and let me get into that room. Al's on fire. Hey, we're here. Hey, we made it. This is the zone. Oh, I didn't add the grass shader. But this is it. Look, we're in the area. And oh no. Peculiar pipes indeed. Okay, so the grass needs a shader. So let's see, we do that, and then we say, and then next pass, do a shader. Nope, not those. Shader outline. Oh, nope, okay. That should be... Hang on, that should be saved somewhere. Grass. Shader. I should save to outline shader. That would probably make it easier. There we go. That's better. Now we can see the edges a lot easier. All right, so we'll need some trees here to throw into the water. We'll need our waterfall. We'll figure out a good way to do that. I don't know how I did the fountain water. How did I do this? Oh, I scripted it, huh? Yeah, I scripted it. That's fine. It's not the best. I wish... I was trying to get the texture scrolling to happen with a shader, and it didn't like it. I don't know why, but it did not like it. It was very anti-shader. Okay, here we go. Let's travel to room G, all the way from room A, which room A skips to F, but room A is a test room. We're working on that nice, clean vertical slice. There we go. N64 games. Good cat. Got it. Easy. Uh-oh. Whoa. I didn't like that. Scene F. The right tab, exit zone, goes to, oops, not 99. Goes to 01G, bottom left. Oops. It's a good game. I don't think I have a copy of that anywhere in physical media. I've got these little, like, shadow boxes in the hallway that each have an NES game, an SNES game, and an N64 game of a series. And so I've got a Mario box that has SMB, SMW, and Super Mario 64. And then I've got a Zelda box that's got Original Zelda, Link to the Past, and Ocarina of Time. And there's not a ton of series you could do that with. You could do it with Donkey Kong, and you could do it with Kirby. But not much else that I can think of for those particular systems. There we go. We're over here. Yeah, hey, look, these are solid. They work. Okay, now this is the thing I'm a little bit worried about is right here. Look at this. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Don't have a great idea for how to deal with that. We may need to do something scary, which is build a new system for camera angle shifting. We haven't done that at all yet. A lot of the existing systems in the game rely on the fact that the camera is always coming from like that 90-degree angle. Never anything different. You can kind of see a frog shape there now. Right? Like that's vaguely frog right there. That's frog coded. Oops, there's something here. There's something here. I don't like that. Okay, but the idea is you're gonna have to come over here. Maybe we'll have a fence in the way a little bit, because I need you to see the waterfall. Which, I mean, we could do that with camera panning as well. What is here? What is over here? Not barriers. Not rocks. I don't actually know what physically is here in this spot. But there's something here. Very strange. Okay, but this area is shaping up. We have the basic structure. We're adding in some decoration. Some big, blocky, low poly cliff walls. I'm pretty satisfied with what we got so far. So to be done is we need a fancy thing that happens here to make the bridge. That'll be something. It was Oreo. It was Oreo-o-wee. There will be screen transitions here and here, but the area that transitions to doesn't exist yet. Let's make a list here. Room F needs stumps. Room G needs bridge, waterfall, log shortcut. That's going to be a whole animation to do. Yeah, that's the main stuff. I think one other cool little decoration we could add is maybe some tall grass in places. Little tufts of not just like we have in Room F, like these little bits and frills, which is those are nice, but it would be nice to have like some larger bits of grass, like maybe tall enough that an enemy could be hiding in it. Yeah, there we go. We have functional transitions between rooms. Oh, that was the other thing. I I hate this. I hate that this is going to be something I'm going to have to program, but we need camera directors. The way I envision these working is they will be a region that will be assigned some kind of camera instruction. So, for instance, when you are in this big zone here, the camera is instructed that instead of facing head-on from the Z direction, it needs to pivot to be like 30 degrees clockwise or something. And it should do it gently. It's gonna mess with a lot of stuff, I'm worried. Actors need to maybe not fully billboard towards the camera, because they don't do that today. I don't have any great examples. Actually, maybe the frog by the river. That is by design. It's meant to be that nothing is like billboarding towards the camera. I don't like that. I think it looks a little bit silly. Like, instead, it is a flat object in space, and as such, it does kind of turn and pivot. But I need all the actors to pivot with the camera so that they stay facing the camera, but not billboard style. There's something to that. I don't know exactly what it is. My throat. I talked a lot tonight. I went through my entire water bottle. Let's go find somebody to pawn you all off on. Sauce is on. Super Dave. Dolphin. He's doing Mario Maker. Brent. I'm not gonna take you guys to see Brent. Mushu's on. Lord Hoyle. GFE's on, but he's doing, why not? Let's see if anybody's doing Simpatico. Barb. Nope. Nope, I'm not raiding into Barb. Let's see, anybody else that I can think of? Mushu's usually a safe bet. Hello, Barb. I too have played Mario. Consider us contemporaries, equals, if you will. Yeah, let's do Mushu. He's a safe bet. He takes care of chat. And I don't feel bad about raiding and running with Mushu. All right, new area's looking good. Hopefully I'll have some of those fancy new animations. I mean, maybe like one new animation by Friday stream. We will see. But yeah, it's gonna be. We got some. We actually did some 3D modeling. We made some shapes. They weren't the prettiest shapes, but we got them. So I'm feeling satisfied. I'm gonna fire this raid off, and then I'm gonna save all this stuff that I've got hanging out on my computer now, and I'm gonna go to bed. So everybody, thank you for hanging out. It's very fun. Got a ton of big raids, so thank you to Maxi, Short, King Boo. We got like 5 follows. What a stream. What a stream. Incredible. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you guys next time. Bye.